Good evening and welcome. Welcome to Fight CPS and Stop Taking Our Children. I'm your host for this live stream coming to you tonight. It's an interactive live stream, and it's where you can talk about your case, take notes, and people help one another. Now, I know that you've found me on Facebook, and I'm glad you did. There are many areas in Facebook that have fighting CPS. Now, I have 7 rooms from Facebook up on the screen, and you may be in one of those rooms. I have Fight CPS with Bob Pace, which is my primary room. And then another room is Fight CPS with Mrs. G. Another room is The Secret How to Fight CPS and Win. Another one is the reality series CPS to Horror Stories. Another one, Relatives Fight CPS. And Juvenile Dependency. Now, I did have a room in there that I was having trouble with. DJ Pedri had asked me to put up her room, but I guess it got taken down. She has a show on Wednesdays, and it's fighting CPS like me. But we had problems with it connecting, I guess, so it's down for right now. Now, the YouTube, I'm broadcasting YouTube. I use the StreamYard application. And so that's what you see here before you. Now, you hear me mention CPS, and I want to tell you that CPS stands for the Child Protection Systems. There are many different systems in every state, every county. Each state has 20, 30, 50, 100 counties, and each county will have a branch that is supposed to protect our children from neglect and abuse. They may be called different names, like in California, in Orange County, they're called CPS, Child Protection Services. In LA County, next door, they're called Department of Children and Family Services. In Arizona, Prescott, Arizona, they're called the Department of Children's Services, DCS. In Richmond, Kentucky, it's called the Cabinet. These I call the CPS system. Any entity that protects our children from neglect or abuse is a CPS system. Now, Congress mandated that social services would make sure our children are safe. And to do so, they created a CPS system that has caseworkers that gear towards families, gears towards helping families. Now, they protect your children from neglect and abuse by taking calls from people outside that are either professionals or lay people. Lay people are family members, relatives, and friends. Professionals are doctors and nurses and school administrators and so forth. Those people that are professionals learn how to report CPS and how to recognize it. The lay people do not know, and I hate to say 50% of the time they're wrong. There's been over 900 people I've spoken to on this live stream. And during this live stream, they have told me the same thing that most of the people have, including myself. They usually are down in luck and either have lost a job or don't have the income or maybe become homeless or something along those natures. And they're taken advantage of because the rogue CPS systems, the ones that are bad, know how to get more money. And I hate to say it, not every CPS system is bad or corrupt, but the ones that have spoken to me are. And it's $1 trillion business, not billion, not million. So you got to be careful there. You got to be careful there. And so what I hope is to share what happened to me in CPS can help you guys so you don't make the same mistakes that I made. I've come up with 5 rules. And very quickly, those 5 rules are: you need to get a professional juvenile law, family law, dependency lawyer who has fought CPS. Rule number 2 is you need to organize your documents into a notebook with subject tabs, and it's very important paper you create called the time log incident, a timeline of incidents that have happened to you. I'll talk more in depth about these rules. Rule 3 is you don't talk to social workers, you don't open your door to anybody, you don't give up your children. Also, you got to watch out the medical trafficking. You go in there with urgent care and suddenly your child's taken away from you, or you go to have a baby that's taken away from you. So that's rule number 4. Now, rule number 3. Rule number 4 is you need to research the internet. The internet is a gold mine of cases like yours, what to do, what to say, what motions to file, how to get an attorney, etc. But a lot of you find it difficult to find the information because of the way you do your wording. It's really important you start off with the city and the state. And the city's too small, you may have to put that city of yours and then comma the bigger city. And then you put the state name. And if you're out of the country, you put the country name. Then you put CPS, the letters CPS. And I use Google search, and Google does search it that way. It'll pull up lots of things about CPS. But if you want to be specific in CPS, you put down the hold on a second here. You put down the refined question, like you need to find an attorney. So you put the attorney and what the qualifications of that attorney. I need to find a juvenile, family law, dependency law attorney. So that's rule number 4. And 5 is you get all your documents copied and put them into an envelope to keep with your notebook. Documents such as the children's birth certificate, your marriage license, your birth certificate, your driver's license, your shot record for your kids, your grade report for your kids, etc. That is all very, very, very important. So those are my 5 rules I gave out really quick. Now, they interact in this podcast, and I want to thank Patty and Lori. Lori's a long time in this room for the thumbs up. That's thank you for the emojis. And so I really am happy that you found me. I'm on twice a day at 10 o'clock in the morning Pacific Standard Time on the west coast of California. And then I'm on again in the evening at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on the west coast of California. Now that is 7 days a week, twice a day. That's 14 live streams. So you have 14 live streams that I'm on. And as I say, I have 21 countries that participated in CPS questions and comments. And since we're talking about making a question or a comment, I'll put down what you need to do. When typing in a message, either a CPS comment or a CPS question, please show your first name, your city or county, and the state. And if you're from another country, your country. And also try to include your CPS case from start to where you're at the present. Abbreviated one that kind of says, well, I have 4 children, ages such and such. My husband and I are going through a divorce, or we are we're boyfriend, girlfriend, or we just lovers or partners. And then CPS came to our door and we allowed them in, or we talked to them and they took our children, etc., etc. And then we're at the dependency court hearing or the adjunctive court hearing. wherever you're at, I'd like to know. So that's what you do. And you can do that by texting in all during my showtime. Now, the ones that are in Facebook, I see your comments, but the other people in the room won't see it. So I try to put your comments up on the screen. Now, below my screen, I have a ticket running. It says that if you want to talk to Vincent Davis, please pay $60 for 30-minute private Zoom consultation. And you just use your credit card and make up the time. It's 30 minutes for $60. And this is something that I set up. Now, all you need to do is go to that website, starts off with HTTPP. Type that whole link in there, and you just follow the prompts of what to do. But that's on through the whole show, so you should be able to see that there. Now, another thing you can do is that if you want to be a guest on my live stream, you just go ahead and you're going to write my show producer. Her name is Grace. She works very hard behind the scenes, and her email is grace@vincentwdavis.com. Now, when you email her, you just email the show times. I want to be on Bob's Sunday morning show, or I want to be Bob's Friday night show, or Bob's Wednesday morning show, or Monday night show. You got 14 to pick from, so you should have no problem there. And then you be on, and she'll tell you what to do and what to say. She'll explain to you everything about that. She'll give you a link to StreamYard, and then you can go on. If you happen to fall off, use that link again. It's good for the show. It's good for the show. Now, a fourth way to interact in this podcast, in this live stream, is to call in. Now, I just put my number up there. It's 626-698-0990. That's my direct line to my phone. Now, we use an application called Vonage, and that's the phone application that works on the internet. You don't have to have it to call in, but you can call in there. Now, when you call in or you're a guest of my show, you'll get a free 15-minute session, if you like it, with Vincent Davis, a consultation, a private Zoom meeting with Mr. Davis for 15 minutes. I will ask you, do you want that? And if you say yes, I'll give you directions of what to do. I'll give you directions of what to do to get that free 15 minutes with Vincent Davis. Now, I think we got someone in the room right now. So, Lori. Hey, Lori. I'm so glad to hear from you. Lori's from Canada. She's been following me for 16 months since October 2023. And it took her almost 13 months or 14 months before she would talk and chat. And I'm glad she has. And she slowly is opening up. She's been with me a long time. She's been the longest person, I think, in here. And she comes in and always says hello or offers some type of thanks or appreciation. So glad you're here, Lori. And is there something you'd like to talk about tonight about your case, Lori? So I can help you or others. This is what's really nice about this live stream. You can talk about your case and interact. It isn't all about me talking. I don't want to be doing that. I want to talk about topics you want me to talk about. What is a 3-8 motion? What are social workers? How do we go? What are the steps? What is the ICWA 1978, the Indian Child Welfare Act of 1978? There's lots of things that I have information on that can help you. I'm not an attorney. I'm a family man, a loving husband, and I've raised 6 children. I have 41 years of marriage, and I've worked a long time. I've worked for over 60 years. Unfortunately, I had a hiccup, and in 2010, I lost my job through no fault of my own, and I was laid off, and it gave kind of a domino effect, because as soon as I got laid off, I wasn't working. I started getting calls from CPS, and they were talking about things are unreal. I mean, I never heard some of the things they mentioned that we parents did. And I kind of just showed them around. They've been in the house numerous times. They saw things around. They couldn't really find the things that the person that complained. The person that complained was my in-laws, and it was hard because you believe in all these family stuff, but they're the ones that were saying we're doing things to our children, which was not the case. Now, besides Lori that came in the room, we have someone else that came in the room um, called Ella T. Petty. Welcome, Ella T. Petty. I could have used your help. It's nice to meet you. It's nice to meet you also. That is really good there. I've been doing this now for 16 months since October 2023. I've never heard from you or met you before, but I'd love to help you. I don't know if there's still a chance or not, but I too have been fighting CPS for 15 years. 15 years. My children were taken in 2015, three of my six children. I have six children that I've raised, but my three younger ones were taken and they weren't in danger. See, that's what the sad part about it is the CPS entity is supposed to protect our children, but they're not supposed to steal our children or take our children. The only time they can take our children is if the children are in harm, physically harm, meaning that it's a life or death situation. Being in school is not physically harm. That was wrong what they did. Now, Ellie and Lori, if you want to talk about your case, I'd love to have you talk about it. If you want a phone call in, that is great. Um, Ellie said, "Oh my God, I got to go. So sorry." Oh dear. Ellie came into the room and she asked to go. She's like another person this morning that had emergency come up, had to leave. Some of you have to go. That's okay. I don't mean to keep you here. I'm here to help you. I'm here to share what worked for me and how I got my children back and what may work for you. I'm here because I care. I'm a loving father and a husband, and I have 41 years of marriage. And I too have been a victim of trafficking, alienation, and I'm sad to say I lost one of my child due to CPS. They're still alive, but what had happened is when she was 12 years old, she was in talked to by the social worker doing revenge because she was caught on the witness stand for committing perjury. She lied. Anyway, she said to us parents, "You're never going to see your daughter again." And so she convinced her daughter to do emancipate. That means to divorce your family, your mother, your father, your three brothers, your two sisters, your both sets of grandparents, and your uncles and aunts and grandparents. It was sad. It really was sad. I agree with you, Ellie. CPS is a disgusting organization. Now, I don't know where you're from, Ellie. You never told me where your case was. If you could tell me, it'd be great. Tell me if you'd be great. I know you have to go, but it'd be great. I know Lori's from Canada because she's been on here. She's one of the room regulars, probably the regular person on here. She's been so supportive. She gives me all kinds of emojis. Now, besides thumbs up, you can do smiley faces or hearts. You can also send emojis like stars. And if you want to follow me, please check the button below. And if you want to be notified, check the notification button. And you'll be notified when I'm live, when I'm on. Now, that's a good term. That's nice there, Ellie, that CPS is a disgusting organization. I agree with you. I wholeheartedly agree with you. I mean, when they told my daughter what to do, who didn't know anything like that at 12, that was sad. That was sad. And I wish I had gotten hold of Vincent Davis earlier, but I was late getting him aboard. See, that's what I'm trying to tell you. It's so important if you get a call or a knock from CPS. You don't talk to them, you get a hold of your attorney, and you got to find one fast because they move fast. They move fast. Hi, Brandy Leia. She says she's from Wyoming and still fighting CPS. How long have you been fighting, Brandy, and what is your story? I love to hear about it. I love to try to help you. Okay, Ella T. Patey says $4.99. Now I don't know what that means, $4.99, because thank you for your advice. New subscribe here. Okay, congratulations. And and thank you. And you're from New York, Ellie. That is so good. That's so good. And she's a new subscriber here. So welcome, Ellie T. Petty. And I'm glad you're following me. And thank you for the stars. And so it's very nice that and I want to help you. Now you're from New York. I have another person from New York, from Brooklyn, New York. Her name is Akima Richardson, sometimes called KK. She has her own podcast, and she switched it from Wednesday to Mondays. Her own, live stream. I have to get out of the habit. I had the wrong terminology. For 16 months, I've been using the wrong terminology. I had no idea. I was introduced and it was called this, but it's a live stream. We are a live stream. And we're coming live from my home, and I'm in California. And our law firm is in California. And Mr. Davis is also in California, and he is a great attorney. If you're looking for an attorney, he's the man. He's the fighter. He's been doing this for 39 years of fighting CPS. He has lots of legal experience in juvenile law, dependency law, and family law. So, what do you have to say, Brandy? I've tried to talk to Mr. Davis. It just never happened. I'm so sorry to hear that, Brandy. How did you try to contact Mr. Davis? There's several ways you can. First, if you are a guest on my show or call in, you're entitled to a free 15-minute private consultation with Mr. Davis. And I can set that up through my show producer, Grace, who works very hard behind the scenes. If you can tell me the details of what happened, when you're supposed to call, when you're supposed to talk, the financial arrangements you made, and then also who you talked to at the office. Now, you can text me the information at 626-698-0990, and I'll look into it for you. I'll look into it because I would hate that someone says they had tried to talk to Vincent Davis. Oh, you talked to Grace. Oh, good. Oh, you've been my guest on the show. Okay. Hi, Betty. Betty's from Montana. Okay. I was your guest, but now, did you send me your information? And I forwarded it on to Grace. If you could give me your information again, just text it to me at 626-698-0990. I'll look at it. What is your area code, Brandy? What is your area code? And I can look it up. because all I have to do is search the text messages and find out when it happened. When it happened. Your grandchildren was taken from you. Did you have guardianship, Brandy, of your grandchildren? Ella says hello, Betty. And a warm welcome, Betty. Yes, please text it to me again. Okay, area code 307. I'll look it up. Area code 307. Let me look up here. I'm going to look at Vonage here, 307. Do you know how long ago it was, Brandy? How long ago it was? I'm looking right now. Here it is, 307. I think I found it here. It was Harvey Kane. Is that you, Brandy Lee? Harvey Kane? Yeah, I was told to text you my information, Brandy Kane. And here's your email. Oh, you're missing your phone number. Brandy, you didn't put your phone. Oh, there it is. There's your phone number. There's your name. Let me go see if I gave it to Grace. Let me go look at Grace's log here. She's my show producer, and I'll see it is there. It was back on January 6th. Okay. Let me go to Grace here. Okay, there's Grace. Yeah, I got it in January. I got it, Brandy. And did you talk to Grace? Did you talk to my show producer? Let me go back to January. I may have her on my other list with Grace. I was texting my personal one there, so here's February 9th, January. Where is it here? February. I don't want to take this length of time here, but Brandy, I will go ahead and it's going to take me a little bit of time to go through this because there's a lot of texts I have to go through, and I'd like to help everybody on the show here. And we'll get this straightened out, Brandy. We'll get this straightened out. I've gone through November, now in October. It may be, let me see here. Anyway, I will check on that, Brandy. You're not forgotten there. I just got to. Okay. Ellie, you sent me yours. Well, I'm pretty sure you're in the lister, Ellie. Her grandchildren were taken. You must be a mom, Brandy Leia. Hi there, Betty. Yeah, I was. You did talk to Grace. Well, then what happened when you talked to Grace? Did she set up a time for you to talk to Mr. Davis? If you did talk to her, then that means she got your information. I don't know what happened. Now we know Ella Petty is from New York, and you've been on my live stream before, Brandy. I see that. You did try to talk to Mr. Davis, but it never happened. I'm sorry to hear about that. Now, Ella says that she was harassed for 3.5 years before it was to be dismissed. Well, that was terrible. So you did talk to Grace. Now, Ellie says it's all because she was a victim of domestic violence, which is a bad thing to happen. Yes, Brandy, please send it again. Ellie says, hello, Betty. Okay. What is too much to type on here? You can call in. I'd love to have your phone call. It's 626-698-0990. That's my direct line, and I'll answer that. I'm getting my granddaughter back, but they sent me my grandson away for being autistic. Well, he's special needs. They're trying to get more money, is what's happening, Brandy. They're trying to get more money. Betty says, hi, Mrs. K. Brandy says it's January. I know that's when you talk. And yes, Elle, I got yours. Grace emailed me, Brandy said, but it never happened. Well, if she emailed you, she probably sent you a time, or maybe you're supposed to do something in there. Yes, she set it up, and then it didn't happen. I have her emails. Well, I don't understand. Were you supposed to call on a certain day or a certain time? Thank you. I'm willing to give your time. Brandon says, thank you all. That's great. I'll email her again. Just didn't want to bother. It's okay to bother, all right? Brandy, it's okay to talk to Grace. You can email Grace at vincentwdavis.com. Grace at vincentwdavis.com. And she will try to help you. Hold on a second. Somebody has sent me stuff here. Okay, it must be on my other chat here. Oh. I wonder why Grace is trying to email me on Vonage, or talk to me on Vonage. Here it is. She never talked to me about having a consultation with Mr. Davis. Okay, also never received her details from you. She emailed me last January to ask to be a guest to Mr. Davis's live show, which Mr. Davis hasn't done yet since the time we last talked. I let her know when it'll be Mr. Davis' next show. Please explain that to her, and you can review her email. She never, um, Grace says she never talked to you about having consultation with Mr. Davis. And I do see your email, Brandy, of January 7th. And I have to go to my other phone, but I didn't want to take time right now. But please email me the information, all right? And I'll research it after my show's over. We have about 25 minutes left, and it's okay. So, yes, thank you. If you talk on my show or a guest on my show, all I need is your full name, your telephone number, and your email. That's all I need. Then what I do is I forward it on to Grace after verifying you did talk on the show or were a guest, and then she'll set up a private consultation with Mr. Davis for 15 minutes. That's our private consultation with Mr. Davis for 15 minutes. So any of you that call in or are a guest on my podcast, you're eligible for that free 15-minute consultation with Mr. Davis. Because he can tell you a lot of things from a lawyer's point of view. You make your list of questions, you prioritize them, and you go question by question with them and use your 15 minutes wisely. But if you want to talk longer than 15 minutes for $60, you can go to this website and talk to Mr. Davis for private consultation. You just follow the prompts on the website, use your credit card, pay the $60, and you'll have that 30 minutes with Mr. Davis. It's very important you email me so it comes from me to Grace. Grace wants me to verify that you talked on the show, okay? And I saw that you did back on January 7th. I have your name and your phone number and email. I just need to verify if it never got to Grace or not. In order to do so, I have to go look through the logs there. But I have two places to search for that. Now, moving on, we have Brandy Lee in the room, and we have Eli Petty, and we have, let me see, Betty Joe, and Betty Joe is from Montana. Elijah Petty is from New York, I believe. And then we got, Eli Petty is new tonight. She just joined Facebook. Brandy Lee's been in here before. So, and we have Lori Hildner. And so glad to hear from you, Lori. All of you, it's so nice to hear from you, and I want to help you all. All you have to do is ask, text a comment or a question, and I will help you there. Now we have someone new. It's called, I believe it's R.E.V. Ambrose Williams. I don't know if that means Reverend or not. Ambrosa. And you say, hi, T-U, Too Old City. Tulane City, or you're from Oklahoma? You're from Tulane, Oklahoma, or Ohio? Okie. I think she says that she's from Tulane, Oklahoma. How can I help you, Ambrosa? What would you like to help on? Now, this is a forum where people can express their questions about anything about CPS, comments or questions, and I love to answer them as best as I can. Now, we have about 20 minutes left of the live stream here. Yeah, Ambrose, I think you and my keyboard have something in common. My cursor's all over the place. My scrolling keeps going up and down. I don't know if it's my settings or another virus I can't find, but it's been a nightmare for the last couple months here of trying to type in, and my sizes get reduced, and it's something that's affecting my computer. So I thought it was a virus, and I paid good money to have them screen for it. They didn't find anything. And then I ran it again. I did find a virus when I did a full scan, a deep scan. Well, if you pour Pepsi on your keyboard, that could really, sugar is crusty and sticky, and it'll make your keys not perform right. So I make sure my keyboard is clean, and I use the air canister of air to blow it out, any particles or anything. And I try not to eat food near the computer or to drink anything near the computer. Does anybody want to call in? You can call in at 626-698-0990. And you're fine to text a message in, so forth. Um, we're haven't talked. We talked about my rules. I've already talked about in the beginning of the show. I briefly covered them, but there's something called Core's Digest, which talks about CPS cases. And since no one has a question or comment for me, um, okay, Ella is going to bed. It's really late for her. It's 10:30. She's on the East Coast. So good night, Ella, and I'll see you tomorrow then. Okay. Let's see on Core's Digest. Here we go. Up, we got someone here called in. Okay. Uh, Good evening. You've reached Bob Pace's live stream. How can I help you? Could you speak? Yeah, could you speak up? Your voice is really soft.
You have a question?
You have a question, and who am I talking to?
This is Ambrosia Watson.
Oh, I'm glad to meet you. And are you from Oklahoma?
Yes, sir, I am from Tulsa.
Tulsa, Oklahoma. I've been to Tulsa. That's a nice place.
Well, that's all right unless you're dealing with DHS.
Yeah, if you're dealing with that child protection system there, I agree. I agree.
See, sir, I was awarded the court myself. I had the biggest case in Osage County history, starting in 2001. Well, 13, until I aged out. I'm now 37.
Okay.
They have not, I had my first baby whenever I was in their custody at 16. I had gotten raped while I was in runaway status, and they took my baby because I was in their custody, so they took her into their care.
I'm so sorry. For all your listeners, what she's saying, I'm going to try to help out because that may be hard for hearing. Ambrosia first started off in life as a ward of the court, meaning that you were a foster child yourself,
Yes, sir.
and you had your first baby at age 13.
16.
16. So she had her first baby at 16. And why did they take the baby from you?
I was still in custody.
You were still in custody. What did you do wrong that you'd be in custody? What did you do wrong?
What did I do wrong?
Yeah.
I didn't do anything wrong. I was
So why were you in custody? Is it because your parents did something wrong?
Yeah.
Okay, and they put you with a foster care parents. Were they kind to you or were they bad to you?
They put me in all kinds of different places. Like one of them was a mental hospital because they had a lack of placement.
You know, they violated something, neglect and abuse. And here it is. The CPS system in Tulsa, Oklahoma is neglecting this young girl who at 16 got raped and had to go through the experience of early childhood. I mean, having a child at an early age. So you were in their custody, so they decided that you couldn't raise the child at 16.
Right. And they just kept taking, I had 5 kids and they're taking every one of them.
They have 5 kids. Boy, oh boy. And of course, in foster care, they don't teach anything about birth control. They don't teach anything about, I'm so sorry. And were all 5 kids from rape, or did you have a couple of them because you wanted to?
No, I had a couple because I wanted to.
Okay.
Definitely.
I know it is hard. You grow up at 16 and you're in foster care. How long were you in foster care at 16?
I started in 2001 and I was 13 then.
So for 3 years, you're in foster care. And what did your parents do? What did they neglect you or abuse you?
I was 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. So that's 7 years.
Okay, so you're in foster care for 7 years, and Tulsa made a lot of money off you. They made a lot of money off you.
Yeah, and guess what? My judge in Osage County was high on cocaine during the ruling of him ruling my case.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
So you had experienced a bad judge. That is tough. That is tough.
They're about to get my last daughter now, and I don't know what to do.
Well, you're an adult. So at 18, if you have any children, you have a right to have children. You have a right to raise that child. Why'd they take the other children from you?
Because they kept building history because of taking my the kids that I had while I was right there. They kept using that history, like my mom's history. They used that against me. They just kept saying that history repeats itself.
Not necessary. Did you ever finish high school?
Yeah. I dropped out and when I went away, I went back and got my GED.
Oh, good. I'm glad you did that. Do you work right now?
Yes, I do.
And do you have your own? Do you have your own home?
Yes, I own my house.
Wow, I'm impressed. You are. You're 37 now, right?
Yes, sir. But they're child traffickers.
Okay, but what's happened to the fathers of your children? Where's the fathers?
The father of my child is a drug addict.
Oh, boy.
He doesn't care about my daughter.
No, a lot of the fathers think it's really fun to make a baby, but they certainly don't want to take care of a baby.
They actually took her away from him because I didn't know nothing about it, but I'm the defending parent because I'm the mother. I assumed all right.
Right. Understood. The problem is, were you ever afforded an attorney at all to fight for your rights?
No, they gave me a court-appointed attorney, but she was obviously she just tried to back me into a corner.
Yeah. This is a really sad story, Ambrosia, because, you know, it's not your fault that your parents neglected you or abused you. And then you have a very troubled life. And because of your experiences of the CPS, the Child Protection System, will be after you. Why? You're an easy prey to get more money from you. Long as you stay there till you're 18, they're going to collect money, and a lot of money they collect because of you.
My daughter's 13, the one they have now, and you know what happens to 13-year-old girls in the system.
Yeah, I know. I know. It's sad.
They want babies. They don't want 13-year-old girls.
I know. I know. I know. Um, have you thought about taking your daughter and you and going to a new place?
Yeah, they've got her in foster care. I just got to get her back in my hands.
Oh boy.
Yep.
You're going to have to get an attorney somehow because that's a horrible story.
Yeah. Do you have any advice on any good attorneys? Probably not any.
Well, here's one thing that you do. By you calling in, you qualify to speak to my attorney, Vincent W. Davis. He's been fighting CPS for 39 years, and he offers anybody that calls in or a guest on my show a private consultation of 15 minutes with him. And he'll try his best to talk about your case, give you some advice, and maybe work something out. I can't guarantee anything he works out. He has a job being a good attorney, but he's the best to land. And I certainly wouldn't pass it up. Would you like to talk to Mr. Davis?
Yes, sir. I would. Is there any way we can do it for first thing in the morning?
Well, I can't guarantee when they will talk to. My show producer's on the show. She'll listen to background, but after I give her the information, she'll have to check Mr. Davis' schedule, and it's pretty full.
My in-laws are in the next room, so I'm just trying. I snuck off to my room to eat. We're supposed to be eating together, but I just love your show. And
Thank you. Thank you, Ambrosia. Yeah. Well, there is always hope. I had one girl on here, Alicia, that I helped her back in 2024, March 2024. She just got her child back. And she says all because of me keeping up her confidence and saying the things about what to do and how to fight CPS. There is a way. You have to keep at it. It is a hard, hard way. I fought for 3 years, and I'm college educated. And, I had the best attorney. It took me to sell my house to hire him, but I had the best attorney. But I still lost one child. My social worker retaliated and convinced her 12-year-old daughter that she could emancipate from the parents, change her name, seal a birth certificate, new birth certificate, and be adopted.
They're working on they're keeping us apart because they want her to see that she can do life without me.
I know they are. I know they are.
They're spoiling her rotten, and one of the reasons why I have to miss my visit, like I didn't call them in advance time and all this crap. It's just one thing after another.
Okay.
I've done everything they wanted to do.
All right. To get that 15-minute of a free consultation with Mr. Davis, you have to text me at 626-698-0990. Please show me your full name, your email, and your phone number.
Okay, will do.
And I will send out the information to Grace, who will contact you and try to set up as early as she can a private consultation on Zoom with Mr. Davis.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you for following my podcast. Excuse me, my live stream. I've been saying the wrong term for a long time. I was just corrected the other day. My live stream is where there is a video and an audio and people interact with the live stream. A podcast is our pre-recorded audio only. So it's not a podcast, it's a live stream. I stand corrected.
Yeah, I can tell I can see your face right now. You look like a very good person.
Well, thank you. I
Just like
I'm a loving father. I've raised 6 children. I have 41 years of marriage. I believe family first, and my life has been dedicated to taking care of my family. And I still have 2 of my children living with me, and they are starting to grow out. They're both in college. One is engaged, so they're starting to make it. But I try to take care of them. Unfortunately, when it happened to me when they stole my children in 2015, I was without a job, and it was really hard. They take advantage of people that are down on their outs. They may have lost a job, they have no income,
say
and
that again.
they really try to do that. And sometimes, and the children weren't in danger. They were in school. One was in a private school, and the other 2 were in good public schools. And they were excellent child. They had everything underneath the sun. I spoiled them. I spoiled my family too much sometimes. And when I lost my job, I had to go to a Spartan lifestyle, meaning no more cookies and chips and Disneyland passes. We used to go to Disneyland all the time on passes, but now it costs for a family of 6, it costs almost $10,000 for Disneyland passes.
Oh, yes, I'll be there. What, 5 minutes? Be there.
Okay, so anyway, I'm going to have to close my show down, but I'm so glad you called in. Ambrosia, you got to get your child. So when you talk to Mr. Davis, you make plans, but you need to search for an attorney in that area. So you type in Tulsa, Oklahoma, CPS, and you want to find a juvenile law, a family law, a dependency law attorney.
Yeah.
And you need to ask them very important questions. One question is, are you a juvenile law, family law, dependency attorney, professional license, and have fought CPS and gotten children back? Then your second question is, after the case is closed, have you sued CPS in a civil lawsuit and had won money back from them? If the answer is yes to both those questions, that's one of the attorneys you can consider. But you need to see 3 references. You need to get 3 attorneys, and one of them is Mr. Davis. One of them is Mr. Davis. So I can help you.
My information to the 626 number.
Yes, you text it to the 626 number, 698-0990. Full name and your email and your phone number.
All right, I'll get right on that, sir. Thank you.
All right, Ambrosia. I'm going to close the show. You can still keep talking to me, but I'm going to be talking to the rest of my room here. Brandy Lee, I hope you fax that to me again so I get you straightened out when you talked on January 6th. I did find you in there. Ella Petty, you gone to bed, so she said that she sent hers. And Betty, happy to see you. And I don't know if Mrs. K's on. She may be in the background where it is. So anyway, Elia Petty. See, who else did I have here? Betty's from Montana. She just got guardianship of her niece, her brother's child. So she's all excited. And I'm so glad she shared the news. And Alea was from New York. That's where she is from. And Lori Hiller, I'm so glad you called, you text Lori. She's been in here since October 2023. So with that being said, I'll be again on tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. That's the West Coast. And God bless y'all. And thank you so much for calling in. And remember, don't give up on your child. They need you. They need you, and you will succeed. Keep listening. And this is Bob Pace signing off.